Think about that.
Okay, so I do agree that the market is definitely going to purge itself. I see the reincarnation of the dot-com bubble. I was still in university in the late 90s when the bubble was happening. And when I came out, I started looking at it. I was learning how to be a trader. And I couldn't understand how in the world were people trading these stocks on the NASDAQ for hundreds of dollars a share, and all they had was a fancy website and absolutely no business, no product, no revenue, maybe one developer. And for 15 years, I couldn't understand how could it have gotten that bad. And now I'm reliving it. I'm actually living right in the middle of it. I don't see any real innovation happening here, and the market certainly will purge itself. What worries me is that if you have a competent company that did not ICO and all they have is $100,000 to work with, a completely incompetent company decided to ICO for an inferior product with worse developers, and they have $40 million to work with, they can put the competent company completely out of business, and then you'll have nothing at the end. So you're almost forced to go ICO if lesser competitors are getting infinite amount of money as runway.
Just one short comment. Bubble is a part of the game when the new disruptive technology came to the market. It happens many times, not only internet.com bubble. It's at the early stage. That's the thing which basically create the market. Second is, I agree with you that the market should be regulated, and to prevent any scams and other bad stuff. However, the regulation should not kill the new technology and the new revolutionary technology, which I believe will make the world much better place. So, which I mean that we cannot apply the old 100 years old legislation and trying to find a way how to regulate completely new thing, new substance. For example, if you say we apply IPO legislation or some standard classical legislation to ICOs, that means I am as a startup need to spend more money, more resources before I start developing my technology and offering to the market. So if we would follow at Ethereum, there would be no Ethereum today.
Please, Tone. Yes, Tone.
Sorry, guys. I was gonna say we're not talking about regulation on the of the technology.
All right, sorry about that, guys. We had a little mic issue, but this is a great debate. I really feel like there's a sweet spot because it's really hard to foster innovation when there's crazy amount of regulation and there is a lot of scams, and that's just a part of any kind of bubble that there's going to be carpetbaggers taking advantage of the market. So it's very difficult to have the right amount of regulation, but to let the market, and the argument before this video, if you've been watching this channel, I've shared other clips of this interview. If you try to self-regulate, which is fine, and which I believe should be, especially in the beginning, because the governments are so old, and they made a great argument where some of these rules are very antiquated. They're 100 years old, which makes no sense. So the self-regulation route is necessary, but at the same time, I don't think the government should do nothing. We do need some sort of framework and pathway, especially as we learn more about the technology, and just be careful about bubbles. I mean, right now, are we out of our bubble? I would argue yes. I would argue at these prices, I don't think it's a bubble anymore. Now, can it go below 200 billion? I think so. I think there is a possibility. But long term, are we going to go over 800 billion? Easily. I see our technology. So, that's just how it is with any new technology, whether it's cell phones, internet, they're bubbles, but there's a lot of opportunity in bubbles. So let me know what you guys think. If you haven't had a chance, please subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you guys soon.